Yat yatha balisanam swayam atmanaha shreyam param avidusham paramam paramam purusha prakarsha karunaya swamahimanam chapavarga kyam upakalpa isan swayam napachita evataravat iho palakshitaha tadyata balisanam swayam atmanaha Shreya parama vitusham parama parama purusha prakarsha karunayam swamahimanam chapavarga ghakyam upalak chapahisan swayam narpachita evataravat iho palakshita that yata as bali sanam of the food swayam by yourself atmanaha own shreyaha welfare param ultimate avidusham a person who do not know parama purusha O Lord of Lords prakarsha karunaya by abundant causeless mercy swamahimanam your personal glory cha and apavarga kyam call apavarga liberation upakalpayasan desiring to give swayam personally na apachitaha not properly worshipped eva although itaravat like an ordinary person iha here upalakshitaha you are present and seen by us. Translation, O Lord of Lords, you are completely ignorant, we are completely ignorant of the execution of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha, the process of liberation. Because we did not actually know the goal of life, you have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship, but actually you are present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interest, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called apavarga, liberation. You have come although you are not properly worshipped by us due to our ignorance. Please respond. O Lord of the Lords, we are completely ignorant of the execution of Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, the process of liberation, because we did not actually know the goal of life. We have appeared personally before us like a person soliciting worship, but actually you are present here just so we can see you. You have come out of your abundant causeless mercy in order to serve our purpose, our interests, and give us the benefit of your personal glory called apavarga. liberation. You have come, although you are not properly worshipped by us, due to our ignorance. So called by Divine Grace, J.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Lord Vishnu was personally present at the sacrificial arena, but this does not mean that he had any interest in his own personal benefit. Similarly, the Archer Vigraha, the deity in the temple, is present for the same purpose. Out of his causeless mercy, the Supreme Personality of Godhead presents himself before us so that we can see him. Since we have no transcendental vision, we cannot see the spiritual Sachidananda Vigraha of the Lord. Therefore, out of his causeless mercy, he comes in the form we can see. We can only see material things like stone and wood, and therefore he accepts a form of stone and wood and thus accepts our service in the temple. This is an exhibition of the Lord's causeless mercy. Although he has no interest in such things, in order to receive our loving service, he agrees to act as he does. We cannot actually offer suitable paraphernalia for the Lord's worship because we are completely ignorant. It is out of his causeless mercy that the Lord appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabi. Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananam Gyanashulaka Chakshadhan Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Satvitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamam Didati Swaparandikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavuncha Shri Rupam Sakajatam Sagana Raghunatamitam Sajim Sadvitam Javadutam Purajanam Zaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Vishakhanvitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shravan Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhudevacha Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namaram Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So thank you very much for joining in our Bhagavatam class on Sunday, 539. So here we are continuing from yesterday, the process. Here the priests are all glorifying the Lord's appearance on the sacrificial arena. So they are saying that the Lord has come not for his benefit, for actually our benefit. Because the Lord, he comes to help the conditioned soul. In the Bhagavad Gita, he says why he comes, correct? Why he comes? Huh? Two verses. Yeah, starts with Yada Yada. What is that Yada Yada? Everyone speaking, how can I hear? Why he comes? Huh? Establish? Dharma. Oh, yada yada hi glani dharmasya. Glani dharma means when there is you know, deterioration in religious principle, and that time I come. Right? Glani dharmasya abhyuktanam atmanam abhyuktanam. So next line he says to what? Paritnaya, to save the, to kill the Paritnaya sadhunam vinasaya cha dus. Again he said dharma samstapanate sambhavami gayuge. So the Lord comes for this purpose. But actually he comes mainly to give what? Pleasure to his devotees. More than killing, because killing he can do by many things. He got so many agents to kill. Right? I don't really require, but Saul is pastimes. So the Lord comes for this purpose to give pleasure to the devotees. And here he has come in the sacrificial henna of Nabi Maharaj because he wanted a son, so he appeared. Just like Devaki and Vasudev. See, they did austerity for 12,000 celestial years, eating only dry leaves and all that, and controlling their sex urge. Then the Lord appeared 3 times as their son. First time as who? Prishni and Sutapa. Where he came as what? Vishnigarbha. Actually, the Vishnigarbha is the one who came to save Gajendra. And then he came as who? He came as Vasudev. He came as? Don't know. You know coding, huh? Coding, you know? So you see how important it is to know, huh? So next one he came as Vamanadev. And then he came as, actually his avatar you cannot count. You cannot count how much avatar. What is the verse for that? 10:52. There, how many incarnation is taking? Nobody knows. Eh? Know that? It's impossible to know how many incarnation is taking. Muchukunda, he saw the Lord, that chapter. So then he saw the Lord. Where that was. Chukunda, the verse, Can she hear? Supreme Lord said, "My dear friend, I've taken thousands of births, lived thousands of lives, and accepted thousands of names. In fact, my birth activities and name are limitless, and thus even I cannot count them." See, it is not that the Lord only took 3 births. No, countless, you know. After many lifetimes, someone might count the dust particles on the earth, but no one can ever finish counting my qualities, activities, names, and birth. See how it's impossible to count the amount of avatar the Lord has taken. It's not possible. Huh? Not possible, you see. O King, the greatest sages enumerate my birth and activities take place throughout the 3 phases of time, but never do they reach the end of them. So nobody can count the amount of avatar the Lord has taken. Yes. So therefore, we have to understand that how the Lord is. I think we had the previous verse, right? He is completely full. Yesterday's verse, right? He is completely full in everything. Yes. Right. Huh? That's why we also chant the verse, right? Om Purna Purnamidam. Huh? What is that? Not this one. No? Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udyachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vasishyate. The personality of God is perfect and complete, and because He is completely perfect, all emanation from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete whole. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because His complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance. See how the Lord is full and complete. Hmm? This is Ishopanishad, invocation. Jai Shri Radha. So you see how important it is to understand the Lord and how the Lord is coming. See, many people think that their philosophy is that God nobody knows, nobody has seen Him. Huh? If you talk to anybody, they say that yes, God nobody knows, God nobody has seen Him. Yes, God nobody can see also. Yes or not? Correct? Is it not? If you preach to somebody who's not in our line, they will say like that. Even the Mayavads also say, no, God is impersonal, we cannot understand Him. So in order to nullify all these things, the Lord comes. Understand? He comes to exhibit his pastimes. Because you cannot understand him until you know him in his personal feature. Then only you can glorify him. Without knowing his form, it is impossible. That is explained here in this verse. So in this verse you can see how, unless you understand his personality, it's difficult for us to glorify him, to develop a loving relationship, See here, this is very important verse. O Lord, cause of all causes, if your transcendental body were not beyond the modes of material nature, one could not understand the difference between matter and transcendence. Only by your presence can one understand the transcendental nature of your Lordship. You are the controller of material nature. Your transcendental nature is very difficult to understand unless one is influenced by the presence of your transcendental form. You understand this point? So the Lord appeared. Why he appeared? So unless we can understand his form, it is not possible to understand him. Understand? Huh? Bhagavan, what? What is that? Vadanti tattva tattva vidas? Yes? What is that? Brahman iti, Paramatma iti, and Bhagavan iti Saptayate. So we have to understand God unless we know the form. It is difficult for us to, appreciate His blood. That's why the Lord appears. Why He appears? To clear all this speculation, these doubts and everything. Yes? Correct? Unless He exhibits this form, how you can understand? That's why He also came in front of Vasudeva and Devaki, right? Why did He come as a... He didn't come as a little baby, right? Why did He come? Huh?
400.
Yes. Why? Because nobody has four hands, Will anybody take birth with four hands? Ever. You are. Yeah. Who came in four hands? Nobody. So he came, and that also four hands means what? Some baby may have some two hand extra. I don't know. But in his four hands, he had what? Shankar, Chakra, Gada, Padma. Who will have that? Nobody. So he came, and then they saw, oh, you have appeared, my Lord. So that confirmed their devotion. Just like you see now, he has the form, then our devotion can grow. It's explained in this form, you see. Understand, unless one is influenced by the presence of a transcendental form. This is where we differ from the Mayavats and all, because they don't worship the form. Some people, some group of people, they go and destroy the form. They say, no, God cannot have a form. There are also some sections of people like that. Yes? Are there anyone who worship the form? They what? They say this is what? Not acceptable. Correct? Yes? But here it is says, if you don't accept a form, then you cannot develop your relationship with Him, your devotion. See how important and relevant it is. That's why the Lord comes. Of course, in our case, we are all conditioned souls. I mean, for us to see the Lord, it's very difficult. Correct? Yes or no? How to see? Because we have, as Krishna said to Arjuna, you cannot see me with your material eyes. Yes? Bhagavad Gita, right? You know? He say you cannot see me with your material eyes. You know no? Where? You don't know. You got four eyes, no? Glasses means four eyes, right? Where it says that you cannot see me with your material eyes? Bhagavad Gita 11 what? 11:8. You see here? So you cannot see. What happened? Story of Pingala. I'm going to story of Pingala. Natu mam sakshe drishtam. You see that? Natu mam sakshe drishtam. Aneva. Anevaiva. Swachaksusaha. Divyam dadami te chakshus. Pashyame yogam aishwaryam. See this? This is very important here. But you cannot see me with your present eyes. Therefore, I give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. So, in order to see the Lord, we need what? We cannot see the Lord with the. But we all have, I don't know about you, but I definitely have material eyes. How am I going to see the Lord then? How? So, the Lord is very kind, you see. So, the Lord comes. huh? The Lord comes in the form of a deity. The deity form of the Lord is said to appear in 8 varieties. One, stone. The other one is wood. Who is stone? Huh? The Lord is marble, stone. And who is wood? Jagannath is wood. What is metal? Panchaloba. Metal. Huh? Narishima. And then earth. They make before some yagya, right? They make from the earth, they make from the earth for temporary purpose to do the puja. And when they finish, they send the earth back. Clay. Then what paint? What is how paint? Huh? Pictures. Sand, making in the sand. And mine or jewels. So the Lord comes in this egg form. You understand? So why he comes in this form? It's explained here. See, a very important point here. Uddhava is asking this question. And it says, Uddhava is asking this question. Sri Uddhava said, my dear Lord, O Master of the devotees, please explain to me the prescribed method of worshipping you in your deity form. What are the qualifications of those deities, those devotees who worship the deity? On what basis is such worship established? And what is the specific method of worship? So he's asking this. It is not that he is speculating over there. Huh? They are system like us. We follow Narada, Pancharata, Triki. So what 64 upacharas, yes, you have to offer, like those who doing deity worship, right? Six, huh? 60. 16. So there's 16 upacharas that you have to perform for the deities. What are they? They've been described by in the Narada Pancharatra Triki. Or other sect will use the Vaigandam. They got the Vaigandam, and they will use like the Sri Sampradaya. They use the Agama. They got different Agamas. So like that, they all have got their system. So here, you see how Uddhava is asking Krishna directly what to do. Huh? All great sages repeatedly declare that such worship brings the greatest benefit possible in human life. This is the opinion of Narada Muni, the great Vyasadeva, and my own spiritual master, Baraspati. That it brings about greatest benefits. I think that's the verse. I think the CC. What is that? 19. I think 19. At Prabhupada saying 19 or not 19. Maybe it is 20. 20. 19. Yeah. It says that Haridas Thakur is not worshipping deity, but we cannot not worship deity. That is for liberated soul like him. I think that's a verse there. 19 1 152 157. Somebody can help me. So you can see how this is very, very important, because we are not in the level of Haridas Thakur that we can just chant. Although Kali Yuga chanting is enough, but because we have got a very disturbing mind, understand, it is not easy for us to just chant like Haridas Thakur. Huh? What is it? 19 what? So you see, huh? Purport. Prabhupada is writing, I think 19152 or 15. You can check for me there. So you can see how this is so important. That's why there's another verse, 15108. It says that the holy name doesn't require any kind of initiation, anything. But you can, just by chanting, you can deliver. So in contact with that, 152. So you see here, 19152. When a person receives the seed of devotional service, he should take care of it by becoming a gardener and sowing the seed in his heart. If he waters the seed gradually by the process of Shravanam and Kirtanam, hearing and chanting, the seed will begin to sprout. To live with the devotees or to live in the temple means to associate with the Shravanam Kirtan process. Sometimes neophyte devotees think that they can continue the Shravan Kirtan process without worshipping the deity. But the execution of such Shravan Kirtan is meant for highly developed devotees like Haridas Thakur, who engage in the Shravanam Kirtan process without worshipping the deity. However, one should not falsely imitate Haridas Thakur and abandon deity worship to try to engage solely in Shravan Kirtan. This is not possible for neophyte devotees. See how deity worship, it's not that you are going there because what? Oh, the Hare Krishna guys, they're crazy, they buy one mukti, they put there, and then they're engaging you every day, you have to go. Prabhupada said, deity worship you don't do in devotion, it becomes what? Huh? Becomes what? A service of burden. Why this spiritual master is so crazy, engaging me like this? You understand? If there's no devotion, become what? Oh, I have to wake up, and do this puja, this Hare Krishna people. They have tricked me. They gave me initiation. Now, yeah, understand? It's dangerous because this kind of consciousness is polluting. But you see here, why we have to worship the deity? Because chanting is of course powerful. Chanting is not powerful, very powerful. But our mind is not. You understand? Our mind is so fickle. Therefore, we need what? Deity worship. You see, deity worship is so powerful. Prabhupada is writing here. Prabhupada is writing here. Because Gajendra, king of the elephants, had been touched directly by the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was immediately freed of all material ignorance and bondage. Thus, he received the salvation of Swarupa Mukti, in which he achieved the same bodily features as the Lord, being dressed in yellow garments and possessing 4 hands. If one is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead by having his gross body touched by the Lord, his body turns into spiritual body and he can go back home, back to Godhead. Gajendra assumed the spiritual body when his body was touched by the Lord. Similarly, Dhruva Maharaj assumed his spiritual body in that way. Archana Pradati, daily worship of the deity, provides an opportunity to touch the deity, touch the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus it enables one to be fortunate enough to get a spiritual body and go back to Godhead. Hello? Not only by touching the body of the Supreme Lord, but simply by hearing about his pastime, chanting his glories, touching his feet, and offering worship, in other words, by serving the Lord, somehow or other, one is purified of material contamination. This is the result of touching the Supreme Lord. One who is a pure devotee, Anya Bilasita Sunyam, who acts according to the Shastra and the words of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, certainly become purified like Gajendra. He assumes a spiritual body and returns home back to Godhead. You see this point here? Huh? Daily worship of the deity provides an opportunity to touch the body of the Supreme Personality of. Yeah, why you touch his body? Then you also become what? Purified. Just like Gajendra. The Lord touched him. And Dhruva Maharaj, I think he touched him on the head, isn't it? With the conch. Prahlad Maharaj, I think he touched him. Dhruva Maharaj and also Prahlad, he touched. Prahlad was the hand. So the touching is so powerful. Of course, you can touch him also by seeing. Yes, you're coming here and seeing him, how beautiful he is. That also is purifying. Right? See him. Or if you think of him, that's why he says what in the Bhagavad Gita? Man mana. What is that? Yes, think of me. Worship me. Right? Pay obeisances. What else? 4 things. Become my devotee. Correct? So you see how powerful this process is. I mean, we are talking about our contaminated position. In the material world, our body, we are taken birth, is full of what? Contamination. Our body, when we are taking birth, is full of what? Contamination. Yeah, what is the verse that shows our body is contaminated? The moment the soul takes a material body, it becomes contaminated. Where is that verse for that? Huh? Krishna Bhayamukha, but I was thinking of this verse, 174, 175, I think. Yaya sammohitam jiva. You understand? Yaya? Actually, I found this verse. I was reading and then I came this 11 to 27, right? I quoted in the WhatsApp. Yes? I'll show this verse first. I think it's 175, right? Yaya sammohitam jiva. Right? This, yeah. Yaya sammohitam jiva. Sammohitam means bewildered completely, right? Atmanam tri gunatmakam. Right? Due to this external energy, the living entity, although transcendental to the 3 modes of material nature, thinks himself as a material product and thus undergoes the reaction of material miseries. It's contaminated, covered. Huh? Understand? Huh? So here you can see how it is covered. The body, the total body and the individual body of the same composition may figuratively be called the original tree. From this tree, which fully depends on the ground of material nature, come two kinds of fruit: the enjoyment of happiness and the suffering of distress. The cause of the tree, forming these three roots, its association with the three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, ignorance. The fruits of the body, bodily happiness have four tastes: religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Today's subject, uh, which are experienced through five senses of acquiring knowledge in the midst of the six circumstances: lamentation, illusion, old age, death, hunger, and thirst. The seven layers of bark covering the tree are skin, blood, muscle, fat, bone, marrow, and semen, and the eight branches of the tree are the gross and three subtle elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and consigo. The tree of the body has nine hollows: the eyes, the ears, the nostril, the mouth, the rectum, and the genital. The 10 leaves, the 10 airs passing through the body. In this tree of the body, there are two birds. One is individual soul, and the other is the super soul. I think this verse Prabhupada writes here in the purport actually. Prabhupada said this gives a complete picture of the whole. It's a nice purport. Maybe you got time, you can read. Such a thorough analysis and understanding of the bodily structure cannot be obtained anywhere but in the Vedic literature. That is Prabhupada is writing the purport. How the whole, this one verse gives a total picture of the whole material, right? I mean, I have not found any other verse, so there might be. I think this is very easy. How we are covered. Huh? Correct? So the living entity is covered by this body and it gets all these impurities. Huh? It gets all this what? All these impurities. Yeah. Simply by one's giving oral reception to this Vedic literature, the feeling for loving devotional service to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up at once to extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearfulness. So when we are trapped in this body, this is what we get. What? Sukha, moha, and bhaya. The three things. So we are covered. Unless we go to the Lord, it's difficult for us to come out. It's not possible at all. The living entity is trapped in this thing, and it says here, he is enjoying all this dharma, artha, kama, moksha. He is very much, into these things. So here you see this verse. Those who strongly desire to cross the ocean in Nissan must not associate with the mode of ignorance, for hedonistic activities are the greatest obstruction to realization of religious principle, economic development, regulated sense gratification, and at last liberation. Out of the four principles, namely religion, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, liberation has to be taken very seriously. Huh? The other three are subject to destruction by the stringent laws of nature, death. Huh? Hello? You see, I will come back to this. Huh? I just want to show you before I go. Whatever is produced by the materialistic with great pain and labor for so-called happiness, the Supreme Personality of Godhead at the time factor destroys, and for this reason the conditioned soul laments. Whatever you do by time factor, he what? Destroys. And the conditioned soul what? Laments. Oh my God, why, Yes. Ah. The misguided materialist does not know that this very body is impermanent, and the attraction of home, land, and wealth which are in relation to the body are also temporary. Out of ignorance only, it thinks that everything is permanent. That's why it says that we must take liberation very. Of course, there so many times Prabhupada described upper varga. I think you know. Do you know the upper varga? Papa, Baba, Ma. You know, right? Do you know? Hello, hello. You know, upper varga. You don't know. You don't know. So where is the place the upper varga? I think the nectar devotion was more appropriate. No. Nectar devotion he explained. Also in the CC, everywhere he explained this word so many times. Take off for me this apavarga. Pavarga. Pavarga means material life. Pa. Pa means what? Working. Huh? Very hard. Nectar of devotion 32. Huh? What? 22. So you see here this quality. Is it? Well, 31. It's 31?
59 quality.
Oh, 59. How far it goes to what?
Now
Compassion?
we are on 32nd quality, 33rd, 34.
Oh, I have to go to 59. Oh, okay. So it's very important that you know this breakdown of this word, pavarga. So you see how very important this liberation is, because to get liberated, there's only one person can help us. No demigods can help you in liberation. Yeah. Yes. So let's first go to this. Here we are 51.
59.
59. No.
Yeah.
Go down.
You got to, you can use the function down.
Function down.
You go very far.
Okay, we got it here now. All right, see here this verse, Pavarga. Another name for salvation is Apavarga. Apavarga is the opposite of Pavarga, or the various miserable condition of material existence. The word Pavarga indicates the combination of five Sanskrit letters Pa, and Ba and Ma. These letters are the first letters of the words of five different conditions as described below. The first letter Pa comes the word Parabhava, which means defeat. The first word is Pa, which means what? Defeat. Defeat. Parabha. In this material struggle for existence, we are simply meeting defeat. Actually, we have to conquer birth, death, disease, and old age. And because there's no possibility of overcoming all these miserable conditions due to the illusion of Maya, we are simply meeting with Parabhava or defeat. The next letter, Ha, is taken from the word Pena. Pena is foam which is found on the mouth when one is very tired, as is commonly observed with horses. Letter Ba comes from the word Bandha or bondage, and Bha is taken from the word Biti or fearfulness, and Ma is taken from the word Mriti or death. So the word Pavarga signifies our struggle for existence, our meeting with defeat, exhaustion, bondage, fearfulness, and at last death. You see the word Pavarga? Huh? Apavarga means that we can nullify all of these material conditions. Krishna is said to be the giver of Apavarga, the path of liberation. So sometimes the devotees they say that all you worship God, then you can get liberated. Yes, they say that if you worship God, any God, they are all gods. Yeah? So here you can see the demigods, they are saying that we can give you anything. So you see here, the demigods are saying, all good fortune to you. Now please choose a benediction from us. Anything but, anything but what? Liberation. Since only the infallible Supreme Lord Vishnu can bestow that. Nobody can give liberation except only one person. Who's that? Sarvadharma parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshyashmi. Who can give that moksha? Only one person. Even Lord Shiva also saying, Mukti pradataha Vishnu na eva samsaya. Nobody can liberate you except only one person. That is Krishna. So how to get liberation? You must go and surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Yes? Hello? Of course, this chapter is not finished here. The chapter is going on. Better than surrendering to Krishna is to surrender to what? Huh? Aradhanam sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param tasmat parantaram devi tadiyanam. Who is the tadiya? Huh? Who's all the tadiyas? Seven. Who? Huh? Hello. Better than serving the Lord directly, serving is. That's why associating with devotees and serving the devotees is the most important. Yeah? As you see how the Lord is saying. See here in this verse, how the Lord is speaking after he delivered this two person, what is his name? Huh? After he delivered these two, Manigriva and Nalakwara, huh? He said this. When one is face to face with the sun, there is no longer darkness for one's eyes. Similarly, when one is face to face with a sadhu, a devotee, who is fully determined and surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will no longer be subject to material bondage.
This verse highlights the importance of physical contact.
Yes. Of course, you are face to face with the. You mean to say Prabhupada is not here? Just like the deity, the Lord is not there and He is not here. Huh? Deity form, non-different. You understand? And of course, you come here, you will also listen to His what? Instruction. You're surrendering, you're serving. And He has given instruction to the so many Shiksha gurus are there. Yes, and you learn. Understand? Like now, I am repeating all his words. Am I manufacturing something? So, is as good as he is speaking? Yes or not? So, you come in contact, then there's no more material. Finish. That is called what? Liberation. What? Yes. So, you see how the whole program is so scientific. I have explained. Yes. How? You have to have worship the form first. Yes? I explained that. Yes, I quoted the verse. What is that verse? 10 to, hello? 35. I've described in sequence today. Yes? Without form, forget it. And I said you cannot go to the form of the Lord. Yes? How you go? How you go to the form? By the deity. Yes? Hello? Everybody look lost. And then the deity, I have explained why so important. How many kinds of deity you can have? Yes? How many kinds? 8. Yes? What is the benefit of the deity worship? You touch. Correct? Of course, you can hear the pastime of the Lord, you hear the glories, everything is there. Anything with the Lord. You contact Him, you are benefiting already. Yes? Isn't it? Then what did I explain after the deity? Huh?
Methods for prescribed methods for
11:27:1. Why we must worship deity? How to worship the deity? Yes? And how this is most purifying? 11:27:2, right? Yes? And how I explained that you cannot go directly to what? Just hearing and chanting, unless you are Mr. Haridas Thakur. Hello? Yes? Yes? Haridas? Haridas? Yes? Then what did I explain? Hello?
Gardener sows the seed, they have to grow. If a gardener sows the seed, they have to grow that wood.
Oh, that one is that verse 15152. But the purport is very important about Haridas Thakur, yes? That's how you need the deity worship. So important. Then touching, yes. I gave the example of, especially Gajendra, yes. How you should worship the Lord. Correct. Touching, the Lord delivered. Yes. Then we talk about Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. How moksha is very important. Yes. And we explain Apavarga. Correct. And then what? Nobody can give you liberation except. So therefore, higher than worship of Krishna is worship of. And then I quoted this last verse 10:10:41. Because there's many verses about why we should worship the day devotee. Why we worship the devotee? Before I wrap up, I think he also quoted one verse from fifth canto. Is it? So many verses. This is the verse. Sages free from false pride live on this earth by frequenting the sacred pilgrimage sites and those places where the Supreme Lord displays his pastime. Because such devotees keep your lotus feet within their heart, the water that washes their feet destroys all sin. Anyone who even once turns his mind towards you, the ever blissful soul of all existence, no longer dedicate himself to serving family, life at home, which simply robs a man of his good qualities. I think you quoted also one verse, 5:8 something is it, about how the soul, I mean the Lord, because the sages carry the Lord in the heart. Is it 5:8 or 5 something? This because they carry the Lord in the heart. So you understand now. This is also the same verse. Tirtha Kurvanti Tirtani. That's also quoted by Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yes, because sages carry the Lord in the heart. So like that, because they are connected to God and they are always with Him, because they see Him inside and outside. So they are very powerful. So when we serve them, it is much more better than taking hundreds of baths in the where? In the Ganga. You understand? Just by associating and serving the devotees. And what are the three things that are very important in the devotee? Nothing. What? What are the three things that are important from the devotee? Mukunda, liberation. What? Water washing their feet. What is the verse? What is the verse? Yes. That's 16. 16:10 is it? Oh, 6.
1660.
Huh?
1660.
16?
60.
16. 1660. So please try to remember these are the things that you should. Adilila. See, just before we go, just see. The remnants of food offered to the Lord Krishna are called Mahaprasadam. And after the same Mahaprasadam has been taken by a devotee, the remnants are elevated to Mahaprasadam. The dust of the feet of the devotee, the water that washed the feet of a devotee, and the remnants of food left by a devotee are three very powerful substances. Hello. Remember? 1660. All right. I think I covered everything. I'm really sorry you took time. But you remember now the whole subject matter? Is it clear? Is it clear? You know what we talked about today? Yes? Ah. So you see how devotee association is so important. Yes, Krishna himself said, the one who says my devotee is not my devotee. Krishna says what? One who is a devotee of my devotee? Ah. So we are engaging in all these things. You cannot think that I'm touching the deity, no, I'm going back, no. Hello. I am only doing it by the strength of my that you cannot forget. Understand? One time this Achyutananda, he was in Kumbh Mela. He was dressed like sannyasi. He was going in Kumbh Mela. Everybody will touch the feet, no? Sadhu, hi Baba, everybody want to get must, yeah. Yes. So he asked Prabhupada, what should I do? Prabhupada, of course, he was doing, you know what? He was taking his danda and he was taking his kamandalu. And anyone bow down, he will hold his head there and then he will show his kamandalu, put money. In that way, he was collecting because every day people are touching his feet, correct? Yeah. Then he told this to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, when they touch your feet, what you should be doing? Because it's very uncomfortable, especially, I'm experiencing it. You just come and touch your feet and as though your feet is going to get worn out, finish. What to do? And Prabhupada said, whenever, because you remember this, anyone touch your feet, you must quickly remember the spiritual master. You understand this? You must remember. Actually, touching the feet is not something that, now when somebody touching my feet, I think yesterday you sang the song, no? What's that song? Bhakti Vinod Thakur, right? Remember? I've now become powerful, Prabhu. My feet is for sale, please. If you start thinking like this, then yes, you will become very powerful in the other direction. Right. So that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when the lady went and touched his feet, he ran to the Ganga with his clothes on, he jumped inside. Set an example how important it is that you don't what? Simply try to think that you are elevated. That becomes finish, fall down. The moment we think that we are elevated, finish. That's why we have to follow this program very strictly. Understand? Otherwise, pride will overcome and then finish. That's it. Right? Very dangerous. Always remain. What? What is that verse? Bhavataram. Yamunacharya. The two verses of where's that verse? You see this verse? Very important. Yamunacharya left two verses that very important. In one verse, what? The sex one. What is that? What is the starting line? Yadavadi, Yada. And this is another word that you must remember. This is very important. What is it? Madhya 1.206. Okay, this verse is very important. You must remember this. Bhavantam, you want to chant? This is very important word. Sanata, Jivitam. Hello, Malayalam. Jivitam. Enda Jivikna? Hello? Yes? Is a Sanskrit word? By serving you constantly, one is free from all desires and is completely pacified. When shall I engage as your permanent, eternal servant and always feel joyful to have such a befitting master? How he is praying like this. There are two verses, right? Yamunacharya. That one and this one. Very important. See how he sanata means what? I want to have. You know what the meaning of sanata? With a befitting master. Anata means no master. Sanata means having a master. Jivitam means I like to live like this. That is those Malayalam they have this word Jivikana, the same word, right? So you see how anyway, I'll stop here then. Any questions or comments? Sorry to drag it so long? Anything? So important, this connection with the Lord. Somehow or other we must be connected with the. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it so easy, chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram. You get connected to the Lord. But we are not so advanced to always be chanting. So we have got deity worship to fix ourselves. It's very important. Okay, anything else?
One lady is asking, uh, can you explain the regulation about worshipping a deity that does not have contemplation? And she's saying,
Prabhupada said all deities must be installed. Prabhupada never supported his idea of uninstalled deities. Some householders, they think that their deities are uninstalled so they can do what they like. That's not there in our Prabhupada system. Prabhupada said all deities means you worship means must be installed. Otherwise, how you worship deity? Simply are non-installed. Ekadasi, I will do something. Sometime I can do, sometime I cannot do. All these kind of things are not acceptable. You understand? Because they immediately the householder they no, I want to have Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Radha, Krishna, Narasimha, everybody. And then he finds he cannot cope. Correct? Difficult. One person, 2%, how to do? Yes. That's why householders, the most easiest method is worshipping Silas. Worshipping what? Very simple. You pour water, bed. Because not any water. What water? Ganga water. And then put tulsi and put a little simple, very fast you can finish. And then you keep. You offer food, you take out. If you don't offer, never mind. Yeah, simple. For householders, what? The Lord comes in the form of Shaligram or what? What is the other one? Dwaraka, no, sorry. Govardhan. Easier. Because you want to do all deity worship, you see like here, one man can. Huh? One man can? See? It's not possible. In fact, when the Lord came to me, he appeared, and then I was shocked because I was alone. My first impression was, my dear Lord, how I'm going to take care of you? And then, of course, he was so merciful. He looked like this, and there were so many devotees, so many. Wow, he was then smiling. I was very, very stunned. Of course, that happened in sometime in 1991, 92, maybe, many years ago. So, but deity worship is very important. Without manpower, how to do? That's why temples, the Prabhupada recommended that all householders, they stay near the temple and participate in the temple worship. That way you also, get strength. Yes? Is that person finished the question? They think that is uninstalled deity, so I can cut short all my worshipping program. It doesn't work like that. Because you cannot, then you put him away, but when you can, you need at least a few devotees, no? Yes? Hello?
People after installing also may not follow the
Huh?
So many people, even in temples also, after installing also may not follow fully.
Yeah, you have to be careful. That's why you have to be regulated, no? Every day, no? I remember in my experience, I was worshipping Radha and Krishna in my mind for about a year. I didn't tell this to many people. Now I'm telling. So after worshipping for 1 year, exactly on Janmashtami day, I only tell that on Janmashtami day I receive uh, Radha Madha Mohan, the small deities in America. Actually, I was worshipping in my mind. After reading the passage of Nectar of Devotion, the Brahmin, he was offering and all. So I also kind of did it for about 1 year plus. I was just chanting and doing all my puja in my mind. And within that Janmashtami day, the Lord appeared, in my room. Because I never say this part to others, it make me feel proud, but actually that was what happened. And the Lord appeared. And this little deities are here. I think now is 2023. They came in 1983. How many years already? 40 years, older than most of you. Right? So this is the 40 years anniversary of their appearance.
I read that this Janmashtami 40
40 years. I'm also going on. Why I'm going to be? So anyway, this is how they are so, responded. How they came. Not that the Lord don't come or don't. The Lord appears according to our devotion. So now you are all doing the puja. I mean, I used to do, but now you're taking over. I'm so happy they are taken, maintained very nicely. And Prabhupada said that is very important in a temple when the deities are smiling. The deities are smiling means the devotees are taking care of them nicely, very important. In some places, the deities are looking sad. What happened? Just like there's a story, I don't know, time. Pujari in Mayapur, you went to Mayapur, right? Did you go to the Jagannath temple?
Yeah.
You know the Jagannath temple, right?
Yeah.
You all went? You went? You didn't go? You went to Mayapur?
No,
You didn't go to Mayapur at all?
only Vrindavan and Puri.
Oh. So there's a Jagannath Baladev temple. This temple, I think, was given to ISKCON in 1982, I think.
Yes.
In 1982, I was there in Mayapur at that time. And so Jayapataka was doing the Abhishek for the Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, the deity. You've seen the deity, right? They're a little different, their drawing is a little different. So that devotee who brought that deity from Jagannath Puri, he was carrying in the stick, He carried the Lord in the stick. And you go to the temple, they will show you the stick. Have you seen that? Did you go?
We went, they did not show this.
Huh?
They did not show this.
They did not tell you the story.
We went
Huh?
almost.
Close.
Afternoon both time we went.
Huh?
Afternoon both time almost.
Oh. So you go inside next time, there's a stick that he carried the deities, Understand? So the deities were there, and that time in 1982, they did the Abhishek, and Jayapataka was calling me, come forward to do, because I didn't go forward at all. I didn't feel like doing it for the Lord. So then the deities temple was given to ISKCON. So now I think they are renovated and very nice. So the pujari was serving the deity. One day he was having a dream that Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, they were running out and they're going on the field, They asked, "Well, where are you going? What are you doing?" "No, you are not giving me enough prasadam. We are going to the main temple, ISKCON." This is a dream, I don't know he tells anybody tell you the story. So then what happened was he called them back and said, no, we will give you opulent prasadam. Did you get the Mahaprasada in the temple?
Yes.
Was it opulent? Or you didn't get the Chapan book or something?
No. We got it.
Why you never take the prasadam in the temple? Rice?
Right.
No, but they'll give you the Maha plate, no? You never ask? Maybe too many people, I think. Anyway, next time you go, you can go to the temple, understand the pastime of the Lord. Next time you go. So that place is, of course, now ISKCON is doing puja. So what I'm trying to say is that the deity worship, the Lord relates, It's not that the Lord don't relate and you're just worshipping some stone. No. So our devotion should be, actually it's a fact, when you finish dressing and you come out and you see the Lord, that's another feeling. Yes or not? Those pujaris? Hello? Huh? Why? How is it possible? Unless the Lord is relating. You follow? So take it a little seriously, because associating with the Lord is non-different. You understand? We are not just here with some stone. It's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You follow? And if you worship Him properly with devotion, then yes. Just like, what's his name? Sudama Vipra. He gave some what? And he got what in return? Huh? So you please offer him properly, because I need a temple. I need a very big temple here. So the pujaris, please have some devotion. All right then, thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanand ki.